I have this whole theory I call the sidecar theory, and I'll explain that. Okay, I'll say I'm a motorcycle. Like, that's me. Lindsley is a motorcycle. And I drive my motorcycle through life, go over hills, go visit places, do everything on the motorcycle, because that's me. But my motorcycle has a sidecar, which, think of a motorcycle with one of those little, cars that sort of sticks out the side where another person rides. Or maybe you put your bird cage in there, or your suitcase, just belt it in. It's a sidecar. It's part of the motorcycle, but it's not the motorcycle. But it goes everywhere with the motorcycle, and it affects how the motorcycle functions. Because you can't go through a little skinny tunnel because you have a sidecar making you wider. Or you can't, go really fast because there's a person in the sidecar. And they also need to be protected, that kind of stuff. So Justin is my friend. He's 17. He's a great artist. He loves Shrek, and he loves classical music, especially Blue Danube by Strauss. Yeah. And he loves The Simpsons and Looney Tunes. Okay, yeah, cool. That's him, or that's part of him. But he also has his own sidecar, which is a diagnosis of autism. But Justin is not autism. Autism is not Justin. Justin is Justin. Now, is Julian, your brother, is he tall?
He's taller than me.
He's taller than you. How tall is he?
I don't know.
Like, really tall or just a little bit?
Maybe just a little.
Just a little bit. Okay. Well, you're not that short, so.
Hello, Jicky Fox. I'm Dr. Fanky P. Wolf. I need to talk to you. Sit down, Jicky. I need to work with you about good manners, no curse words, and independence. I need you to focus of kind behavior and eye contact. I want to listen to my voice and my words. I want you to be a serious guy. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Gee, look at me when I'm talking to you. That's distracting. You need eye contact to me. Oh, ow! You gouged my eyes. Ow. No, Fanky, I not like you. And now you must die. Pop. Pop, hey! Give me back my brain. Shh. Ack, shut up. You make me sick. Cratch. Thwack. Uh-oh. My brain. It's gone.
You must die. Physically, I have differences about me because I have, like, a pediatric, sort of like arthritis. So it's changed the way I appear and the way I move because I'm much stiffer. So that's not me. Like, Lindsley is not that sickness. That sickness is not Lindsley. But I call that sickness my sidecar because I take that everywhere I go. It affects how I do things because I need to walk more slowly. I need to hold a banister on a stairway. Sometimes I'll use a wheelchair. It makes my face and my hands have a red like angry skin appearance, and that's just part of me. You know, I take it where I go. Other people know that's me, and you know, that's part of life.
I can create cartoons that are violent. I like to draw Chicken and Frankie. Chicken and Frankie are fictional characters that I've been created. The fictional characters that I've been created. Cheeky is a fictional cartoon fox, and Frankie is a fictional cartoon wolf. Cheeky always murdering her nemesis, Frankie, murdering. My animation has filled with cartoon violence. Now, I did a good job on Flash animation. I can't help it, I love cartoons that are violent.
We met because my parents, John and Barbara, they have these friends that own an art gallery, Frank, Mariska, and Roger Rico, and apparently Mom and Dad were at the art gallery, and they started talking about, I guess, that I like to draw cartoons or comic strips or storyboards. I like to draw. And Mom and Dad, I guess, asked them, do I know anyone, or do they know anyone like who's into that? And Frank and Roger, I guess, were sort of like, well, I'm not sure. And all of a sudden Roger said, oh, Justin, I know this person, Justin. Pretty soon Mom was on the phone with his mom, and we met. And it was sort of like we're not really sure if they're going to like each other, if they're going to get along, if this is too set up. But it was great, or it is great, because I met Justin, and I met his family, and he met mine, and we're friends. Okay, I'll get you.
Try that one.
That's a good idea. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to do some details on these, and then I'll keep asking you questions.
Okay, put details, please.
I will. And tell me your cartoon rules about people. Do they always have eyes that are close together?
No, humans' eyes are staying like this.
Oh, okay. So they're not like John from Garfield?
Yeah.
Okay, they have distance between them.
The distance between them. The eye. Sure.
I want to learn, you know, like from Justin, I want to learn how he creates his art. I'm going to try that. It's really sort of teaching and learning both ways for both of us. You know, I can bring to his awareness what he needs to look at in my work.
Whoa, time out. This mouth was not right.
Yeah,
And the nose was not right.
I didn't feel like it was.
Watch this. I could draw the nose.
Oh, okay. You did it like a front view of it. That's a good idea. Okay. That looks more realistic. Thank you.
I told Lindsay all cartoon characters have 3 fingers and a thumb.
Cartoon people and characters most of the time have 3 fingers and a thumb. And when he told me that, I was like, what are you talking about? Is that really true? And I sort of listened with like okay, I know he's just saying that. He's such a boy. But then I went and I looked at a lot of comic strips, and he's totally right.
Many cartoon characters have 3 fingers and a thumb. Just like Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam.
And I've impressed all my friends with that 3 fingers and a thumb thing. And I said, my friend Justin taught me that. And they all want to meet Justin now because he gave us such wisdom.
Lindsley, without a brain, what happens?
Good question. I mean, you can't think, right? Like, you won't be able to think of.
And no brainstorms and no dreams.
Yeah, that's right. No dreams.
Oh, I prefer put Lindsay in a wheelchair into the wheelchair ramp. So it's very easy for Lindsay in a wheelchair.
I know. So Justin, you have strong muscles, right?
Yes.
That's good.
The wolves are probably excited about all their friends coming to visit. Well, they're people friends.
I won't betray where the money is hid away. Her rainy day is her rainy day. She believes in this kind of thing. Seeds we sow will grow in spring. Patience, love, couches and sofas dance in her head. When she's asleep on the hard wicker daybed, how many jelly beans in a jar? Counting the raindrops on the windshield of the car. Patience, love.
Stupid bugs.
Almost there.
She takes the kids out to the beach.
And every wolf pack is an extended family. What makes up that wolf pack are the leaders in the pack, which are called alphas. You'll always have an alpha male and an alpha female. Now, everybody in that wolf pack has his own place. There's an order in that pack, and everybody has to follow it. On the top of the order are the alphas. They're in charge. Everybody has to listen to them. They eat first whenever there's food around. And they're also the only ones that have puppies in the pack. The big guy here, this is Odin. He's the alpha male. There you go. This is Sheba. Sheba is the alpha female. There's usually one wolf who's second in command, next in line. They're in charge of the pack. When the alphas are away, they're called a beta wolf. This is Amarok coming up. He's the beta wolf, second in command. There you go. Everybody has their spot throughout that ranking. There's always going to be one wolf who's the very shyest in the pack. They're going to be the lowest ranked member. The lowest ranking member is called the Omega. That's Oshika here. She's the Omega in the pack, the shyest one. Hard to get her a treat because she won't come up to the fence. But sometimes we fake everybody out that way. She knows to wait over by the tree for hers. Now, the way they figure out where they sit in that order is every day they growl and snarl and bite at each other's faces. They'll jump on each other's backs and push each other down. It sounds like they're tearing each other apart. But it's all just a show to see who's tougher than who.
I met Jicky and Fanky after several weeks of us knowing each other. But when he introduced me to Jicky and Fanky, I was impressed that he created them. He always says Fanky Wolf is hapless, which I even went home and I looked up in the dictionary to be sure that I understood, and it said unlucky. And I'm like, okay, he's unlucky. That's why he gets like massacred and chopped into little tidbits, thrown all over the place. But he's alive and well and ready to go in comic strip number 3. Yeah. Thanks.
They're a little more active than this. But we get these hot days in the summertime, they're a little lazy.
It's sort of Justin's storytelling, and I think that, you know, comic book characters or superheroes get hurt or damaged, but then they always try to like rebuild and redo, you know, and work with whatever. Okay, maybe then their left thumb doesn't work as well. Okay, they'll accommodate. And, you know, I know that Justin and I have had to accommodate for, you know, our bodies, our minds working differently. And I guess his comic strip characters, like Jicky and Fanky, they do that too. It's funny how Jicky is so cute, or sometimes even beautiful, so sly and so smart and tricky about it. And you still love her. And Fanky Wolf he seems kind of not quite clued in, just in the comic strips I've seen. And he seems, yeah, like Justin says, hapless, unlucky. He gets tricked every time by cute Jicky Fox. Is Jicky a good soul or a bad soul? Because she's so likable, but she does such terrible things. But I can't help just loving her. She's complicated, because I think that I was maybe feeling a little, gosh, I really love her, like admire her, even though she's so obviously out to get Fanky Wolf. You know, is that right? Or am I right? Am I a good person?
Very aggressive. They're also very powerful. This is a perfect example of why you should never have one of those small cats around your small children. In the winter when food is scarce, these little bobcats will actually go after something a little easier to run, continue to run till he can't run any further. When the deer is finally exhausted and injured enough, he will start to misstep, stumble as he's running. The little
Because the
bobcat
fox
feeling
was
this
deceased.
I don't want you to just be sad because one fox died. There's many others that are alive.
have what called as a bed. If this little thing can bring down and kill a deer,
The fox was not alive anymore. The fox was deceased and dead.
That makes you sad?
Yeah, and the fox was gone.
There's a baby
Bobcat here. So she has to keep it in Pennsylvania. She's already having lots of problems with the cat.
Just remember the cycle of life.
Can't stop her from spraying. Our little cat is actually spayed. She still sprays.
Yeah, because babies are born and then the very old ones die, Justin. Sure.
Finding that the bobcat does not do well with the house cat. So very careful. Anybody back
Alone at last, but so lonely.
when I see him, it just makes me happy because I know that he represents art and like a challenge. Because, you know, every new friend is a challenge because you don't really know them and you're getting to know them. And, you know, he has his certain ways of behaving, as do we all. So everyone has an issue or a sidecar, just that some are more obvious, like mine, and Justin's is obvious, not as obvious, but it could be pretty obvious to people, and they would say, oh, that's him, just ignore him. But he's not worth ignoring. That's just part of him, and that's how he interacts with the world.
All right, boys and girls, draw the third final box. Final means last. Understand? Final means last. Look, I'm drawing I'm drawing a final comment.
Justin is speaking, and I want to learn how to do this. That was excellent remembering from the
Draw the boy in the girl like that.
I'll do the first thing you're going to show, are you just breathing out, okay?
Excellent work.
Actually, why don't you ask Justin to help you? Say, excuse me, Justin.
Good job. Good job.
I started drawing when I was 5 years old. Right now, I'm drawing. My illustrations became better and better. I like to illustrate animals. I love to illustrate cartoons.
You know, I've been learning every time I meet with him, like, oh, don't mention the food chain when you talk about animals because that makes him upset or he doesn't like it. So, you know, I don't want to ruin a conversation by talking about that. Have you ever touched a wolf in a zoo or a safari place?
Definitely not.
Not, okay.
Because maybe I can't touch wolves.
Yeah, it seems like these wolves don't, you know, they stay away from people.
Also, they're dangerous.
True. Have you ever touched a fox or a bobcat?
Definitely not.
Okay.
A ladybug.
Oh, that's good luck. She thought your flower was real.
Okay, ladybug. Off the table you go.
Goodbye. Goodbye, ladybug. Thanks for visiting. Or thanks for letting us use your home.
I'm not going to torture you, ladybug. Fly you go. Up. Come on, ladybug. Off the table you go. Go on.
Don't paint anything on on it, but tell me.
Well, I can. Well,
no, don't fix it. But just you can tell me what I should.
well, the ears are too round and huge.
Oh, so they should be more pointed.
Yeah.
All right.
The ears okay, except the ears.
Except the ears. I'll see if I can fix that with paint and shading. But that was a good. I'm glad you told me that before I painted them, because that way I can creatively paint.
Many wolves' ears are usually short and pointed.
Short and pointed. Okay. You know, I can't say that every time we meet it's like happy la la la, but it's like a good challenge because it really tested me and my ability to sort of think on my feet and like go with the flow. And it also, I just love the feeling of doing art. And you know, I can be the art teacher, I can be the art student, Justin can be both of those, but it's great that we can be friends. And you know, we don't have to actually say we're friends because we just, that's just us, that's how we are, and I love it.
Eyes that reach